Hey everyone, I'm going to be going over kind of just a market analysis of what we could potentially be looking at. Yeah, as a recap on the last videos, um, I entered on a trade over here and then re-added into it over here, and then um, it tanked quite a bit. I was about 18K down on it. I did recover most of the position so far. Right over here is where I entered. So basically right at this wick. What I'm looking at is I'm looking to potentially come back up higher to these levels right over here. From where I entered, that's about a 3% move. Over here, we do have a lot of, we have these like intercepting lines not intercepting, we have this line over here from this fib fan from the fib fan, and then right also over here we do have that point of control of this small range over here. This whole area right over here, definitely you want to be a little bit cautious in, because we can easily come up here and get a retracement, maybe make even a lower low. Until we really break past this area, we have to hold above this line over here, and then we can go for this next wick over here. But it's still definitely uh scary to just be in any trades right now, just because you don't know what's going to be said, and then the market might just tank again. I'm still not really sure what I'm going to be doing. I might remove half of the position right back over here, just get out of that, because I was pretty low down with a drawdown. The fact that it came back up here, definitely lucky. I actually did miss this wick right over here when it did tap the level exactly. I should have got out over there, but I wasn't by the computer when that happened. I did miss out. So I'm just now coming back up for this, hopefully second move to this level. So that's kind of what is currently going on with my trades. But like I was saying, uh places to be cautious of is really this whole area over here. You definitely do not want to be getting into a long in this area. If anything, you want to be looking for some shorts. The money flow on the 24-minute is curving really nicely to the upside. The higher time frames as well. Let's see what we're having here. So yeah, so on the higher time frames, money flow is coming up as well. You can see it's starting to cross over. We didn't get a divergence on the 4 hours, so might potentially not be the strongest move. However, we do have one of these yellow X's down here, so that generally marks at least a local bottom for a second. On the daily chart, we're also one second. On the daily chart, we are showing a divergent, or no, yeah, so we are showing some divergences. Money flow isn't coming yet to the upside. It's still pointed a little bit down. It is starting to curve up a little bit, so that's good. We might potentially print that green dot on the momentum wave soon, which is good. The higher time frames, such as the weekly, it is. See how the weekly looks. Yeah, so the weekly, it's definitely not looking the best. So we do have this VWAP, curving out. Where we did come down for that retest was really from this line right over here, which is that top of this whole range of price action, as well as this anchored VWAP that was pulled from a bit further back. Let me show you guys right over here. So that was pulled from this area over here. Yeah, so that's where we got that that bounce from. So it's not looking the strongest, but we are also very, very oversold. We can potentially start coming up. We do have some hope potentially maybe on this 3 day to get a divergence, because we are having a low and then a higher low, but on price we are getting a low and then a lower low. So we might potentially be getting divergences on that 3 day, which would be really good. And Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. If we do come up here for a retracement coming back down, this area right over here, is really that next level I'm looking at that like 67 zone. So hopefully I will be in a short from there and not logging a retracement back down. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at for Ethereum, for Bitcoin. And then on Ethereum, let me go over this real quick. On so on Ethereum, it's kind of the same. Let's start on the daily. Yeah, so similar as Bitcoin, the money flow is still kind of coming down. We are starting to potentially eclipse, so we might have some room to the upside here. On the 4 hour, we aren't showing any divergences, but we are also printing a green dot, and money flow is coming up. We're kind of having a kind of a sloppy little head and shoulders on the money flow, so we might have some room to the upside. Really locally, let's see how that looks. 1 second. Yeah, on the hourly, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Yeah, the hourly is actually looking quite good. We do have this bullish divergence over here. We did bounce off of this, this line over here. We did have intercepting lines, so that was that was nice just to know those were there because before we continued crashing further down, we did take like a 20% drop on Ethereum in the last yeah, what was it? Yeah, 22%. So definitely makes sense if we do start getting some retracement back up to the upside. But still want to definitely be cautious of the some levels in terms of the levels. Firstly, let's do a quick fan from up here to this low, and then we'll do also this. Yeah, so still, definitely want to be cautious when we're coming to this area right over here in that $1,600 mark. And then over here, we're gonna have a lot of congestion, and then right above this, we do have that golden pocket area, and then yeah, so those are the areas you would want to be cautious at, unless you're looking for a short. But I would be a little bit cautious now looking for shorts just because we did really dump. We are definitely potentially overdue for a short squeeze. However, just with the current market conditions, you can't really say what is going to be happening. So, but yeah, so that's kind of what I would be looking at for Ethereum. I'm not in any Ethereum longs. I'm currently just Bitcoin. So, yeah, so I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know in the comments.